Mr. Incredible.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on with you, Money?
And doing all right. Just working hard. Doing this late. Got to work some more. Want to get the days off. You know what that reminds us of, right?
Yes, sir. It reminds us of the Rat Race. So, welcome back to the Money and Belly podcast. I'm your co-host, Belly.
Yeah, but I'm your co-host, Money.
And today we're gonna, I don't want to say philosophical, but that's kind of really what it is. We're gonna basically be discussing exactly what the Rat Race is.
Exactly. Like, like y'all, a lot of y'all got questions. What is the rat race and what does rats got to do with it? No, we got we got explanation for all that. We're not calling each other rats. It's just a term, and then you'll see why. It's called a rat race.
Exactly. It's just a name for the system we're in. And we kind of went over a little bit in our introduction episodes of like why we're doing the podcast, what's the whole point of investing and all that. It all pertains to this, the rat race. And just in this episode, we're just going to dive deeper into exactly what it is. So, of course, the question is, what is the rat race? And so, the rat race, it's a way of life in which people are caught up in a fiercely competitive struggle for wealth or power. It's exhausting and it's a usually competitive routine.
Exactly. And then, an example of that, is what somebody asked me before, like why these big companies, like Disney or, even Facebook, just they get so they want to buy everything, even when it's competition, they want to buy that competition and just keep expanding and expanding, or, just coming up with something new to keep up with the time. That's an example right there, because they're in the rat race as well. You don't have to be like, a lower I mean, a higher company than them or as high as them to not be in the rat race.
Yeah, it doesn't matter between lower class, middle class, higher class. Everybody's in a rat race.
Exactly. They want
Maybe
to
some
maintain it.
exceptions. Maybe some
Yeah.
exceptions in the higher class.
Yeah. It's just not limited to it. That's the thing. Just like what I gave an example of, Disney and then all these other big corporations just buying up everything and then expanding what they're doing. They're trying to maintain that wealth and power, still trying to stay ahead of the game, while working extra hard.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to worry about the money like we do because we're to a certain extent we're going from check to check. They're not going from check to check. As an individual, they're fine. As a company, that's where the rat race is.
Yeah, yeah, yep. I mean, just like Amazon too. When people asking why is every Amazon trying to do everything, start off as a bookstore. Now they're in their own lane with e-commerce, but they're trying to jump into this now. Video games and music, and then like being everybody's competitor. Because yeah, they want to keep expanding. To get to stay ahead. Because companies do do die for
Yep,
real.
and then that's the sole existence of a company to continue to expand. And another thing I forgot to mention, I know we're blank on this episode. Why? Because the system we use for our our webcams is down.
Yeah, yeah, and then don't worry about that. We'll get that fixed, which is taking us back to our old days while we're saying this in the episode. We were like, yeah, technical difficulties,
Yeah,
but
again,
we're
it's
gonna
been a
get
while
that
since we
fixed.
said that.
It's been a while, but well, but and then you're gonna hear this again on one of the negative episodes. So episode -3 degrees coming up. Yeah, yeah,
It's
the
been a
TikTok and
minute.
Instagram. Yeah,
I didn't think
it
we
has
was
been a
gonna have
minute.
to say this.
Yeah, yeah, we had some technical difficulty right before the show. Oh my god. So, I mean, trust me, we're going to get that fixed. I mean, one thing about it is we're always true to our word. So you're just gonna see a struggle right now while we're talking about a struggle.
Exactly. And like I know we ain't been dropping on time, we've been dropping late because money had to move. I think I said that in a demonstration video. And another thing, I kind of like moved to a higher position in my job, so now I have to stay a little bit longer or come in on certain days of that job. It's kind of messing up our schedule, so we're trying to fix that. But bear with us, bear with us.
Exactly, because we're in a race of our own too. So, and then which leads us to this second definition. Well, we would like to say, second viewpoint, because they all points, like, because they're both related. They're both saying the same things, just from different perspectives. So this second definition is from the perspective. I mean, it can go either way, but really relates more towards people like the middle class or lower. No, which is the rat race is an exhausting weekly routine of trading your time for money for your entire working life. Those in the rat race serve business owners and investors with minimal financial reward in return for their manual labor. Okay, so that's why I said it points more to like the middle class, and and then the lower middle class. Because what are we doing? We're waking up, early in the morning, or us- those y'all that doing night shift or graveyard, y'all working while people are sleeping, and working like 40 or 60 or even 80 hours, just trading all that time for the money that's not even enough, because there's a bill every week, and then you putting all that time into getting a check that um that's not going to make you comfortable, because you're going to have to spend it, and then you have to go right back around to work another 40 hours, or like 40 to 80 hours, to earn that check again, and you're not even saving as much because you had to spend all of it, or you're struggling to save.
Yep, that's the truth. And why we say it's exhausting, we all know this. The general population knows it's exhausting to go to work every day for whatever shift you do, 4 days on, 3 days off. You work 5 days a week, whatever. You go in for all week. You're tired. You work 8, 10 hours. You come back home. You get like one day of rest. The second day, you got to go run errands or whatever you got to do, and then you're right back into that same routine almost every day, every week for the rest of your working life, regardless if you quit a job and you're off for a few months or even a year, whatever, you're still going to end up coming back to this same routine, making money, a little bit of money for yourself, but as a whole, you're making an entire massive profit for the company. And then not only that, you have the government reaching into your check, taking taxes out of that. You're making all this, not I mean a lot of money. You're making very little money to give a business owner even more money. You don't get that much financial reward back for trading your time and manual labor. Not only are you losing time, you're breaking down your body working like this every single day for the course of your life. And then supposedly, you know, you retire at 65 and then you get to enjoy the rest of your little bit of life. You're old now, your body don't work the same. And that's not even to say you're going to make it to 65. I'm not saying as in death. I'm saying is you could get sick before that. You could have a work related injury or a home related injury. Something could happen with that job. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. You might not necessarily make it to that 65 range where you can retire.
Yeah, that's true. Especially nowadays, it's gonna be hard to retire at a retirement age, or hard to retire like the way people been retiring. Like, you might not want to retire off of 401k no more, or just rely on Social Security because things they got so bad. So you got to look for other options, and then it's crazy. A lot of people losing jobs, and then we having pandemics everywhere too. Like, first it was COVID, and then now it's something else. You don't know what's going to happen. So why not earn that money passively? If you seeing that there's a possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's a possibility that there can be something that's going to put you out of work for a while, just like last time. And then, and then this time you ain't gonna get as much unemployment, as you. I'm just saying, what if, and then you don't get as much unemployment as you did like a couple years ago. And you getting them $900 checks every week or $800 checks every week, just printing money.
Exactly. I kind of want to say that was a once in a lifetime thing. Like I don't. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen again. I'm not gonna say it is gonna happen again. Just know that those were one of those once in a lifetime things, and I hope you use that money smartly. I don't think smartly is the right word.
Yeah, I mean, we know what you mean. Like, be smart with it, or wisely. Basically, use that
Yeah,
money
that's what it
wisely,
was.
responsibly, and also, I mean, and then invest if you have to, too, or just find ways to, make that passive income too.
Well, not even that. Just pay
Like
your
that.
debt off. Like,
And oh yeah, and pay your debt off too. And then you, and then I remember I was looking at the pictures and I seen this whole cycle. It's like you work, and then um, you pay bills, get in debt, and then work, pay bills, get in debt. Or, when I'm talking to somebody, like whether it's my friends or family, they got all got the same story. They work all these hours and then they manage to save up a lot of money, but then something always comes up. And then look, we're right back where we started.
each and every time. We all notice you save a little bit of money out of nowhere, just something comes up. It's almost like it's designed to work that way. And to a certain extent, it is. We can go into deeper details in later episodes, but a lot of products or things you use aren't made the same way as they used to be. Things used to last a little bit longer than what they used to. It's almost like things break down at a certain time. It's almost like they're designed to break down at that time. And to a certain extent, it actually is. Because think of it this way: if I made a car that literally you just did the general tune up, it can last 30 years. If I do that, how am I gonna make any money? Because my cars last a lifetime. Or even another way, some people washing machines. Some people you say, "Oh, I still have my grandma's washing machine from like 20 years ago, and it still works." Yeah, because they were built to last that way. Back then, they were built to last. Now, if you buy one, be glad if you get a few years out of it. And now you're back to spending another $700-800 or more on a washing machine. It's literally designed to fall apart. Because if I make it last a lifetime, how in the world am I going to make money? Because if it lasts, if it survives, who's going to buy it from me? Because nothing is broken. But if something constantly breaks down in a certain amount of time, I can always get you to come back to me.
Yeah, I mean, think about what Apple was doing back in the day. I mean, back in the day, with making their iPods easily crackable, and their
Yeah,
iPhones in the early days too.
exactly. You make
People
it
keep,
cheaply, you mark up the price, and you design it to last for a certain amount of time. And what's even worse, sometimes like you'll have a warranty on it. And isn't it odd that as soon as the expiration date for the warranty comes around, the product will fail? They have it down to a science. They know what they're doing.
yep. And as soon as you update, now the device starts messing up. It's
Yeah, and
worse
that
off than it was.
exactly, and that goes for other appliances and other things. Everything's designed within this rat race. It's a giant maze, and there's so many traps within this maze. So that's why we want to discuss the rat race. It seems like it's almost a never ending abyss. But I digress. Let's get on to the next talking point, which is why is it called the rat race? It's basically what it sounds like. It's a race between two rats to get the piece of cheese at the other room first by trying to outrun each other. In the process, they spend more energy than the reward is worth. It signifies an endless, futile pursuit, a mad competition one embarks. It's endless. It's a competition. You spend more energy than what the reward is actually worth, just trying to compete with everybody else.
Yeah, it's just like, people, spend years and years, just going to different jobs, earning the same thing, but trying to, get that high position. and then everybody around you is practically doing the same thing too, or most people around you, until one of them makes it. Not everybody could be the manager or lead or a superintendent or the vice president, like whatever the top level is at your job. Not everybody can be that. There's always going to be somebody choosing, and that's somebody that you competed with.
Yeah. And just because you know what, I don't like that, so I'm gonna go to another job. Well, newsflash, they have their own rat race too. Everything's still within a rat race. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to another job. This job's paying such and such. They only work this amount of hours on this amount of days, and they have all these benefits. Yeah, that's cool. But you're gonna see there's some critical things going on within that job as well. And they're running a rat race just like the other job was. You're competing for a position, you're competing for more pay, you're competing for more hours, whatever the case is, it's endless. It's a futile pursuit. No matter which job you go to, you're going to keep on doing the same exact thing. It will never change if you
Y-
continue within this path.
Yep, definition of insanity right there. You know, to keep doing the same thing, expecting something different too.
Exactly. That's why we said it's a mad competition. So that's essentially why it's called the rat race. So next slide. How do you know you're in it? So it's best said by Eric Tenter. He's a New York editor. How do you know that you're in the rat race? Is when you're unhappily going through the motions in life, trudging through the daily grind of a workday, feeling unfulfilled, unchallenged, and uninspired until they go home at the end of the day, only to repeat the whole process again. It sounds like we're repeating ourselves, right?
Yep, just what we talked about earlier. Like literally, breaking our bodies down, working all these hours, and then going to different job, just but with the same thing going on too. And then, you go home and then you repeat all this over again, you know, and then each time it makes you unmotivated, because you're constantly doing the same thing. And then that's not getting you nowhere.
Exactly. It feels like you're doing the same thing.
Yep.
Sometimes not even necessarily the job was hard. It's just that job is extremely boring. You feel unfulfilled. There's no challenge in a job. I'm not saying the order to have a challenging job, you gotta work really hard. No, that's not a challenging job. So what you're gonna do? Well, I'm tired of this job. I'm gonna find another job. And it'll be, a different field for you, a new playing field for you. And you'll feel okay for the I don't know, first few months, maybe a year, but eventually you're gonna get tired of it again. And what you gonna do? You're gonna go on another job search. Same process all over again.
Yeah, same process all over again because I mean, there's some jobs that you're going to be breaking your back, and then sweating a lot, but you don't have to do all that to be tired too. You can be mentally tired. You can be like exhausted just working a computer job, dealing with people all day that you don't want to deal with, or just be exhausted doing a whole bunch of paperwork every day too.
Yeah, exactly. Who wants to sit at a desk for like 12 to 13 hours just staring at a screen or staring at paperwork or dealing with people? You might and other people think, oh, well, you don't do no physical jobs, so it's not that bad. No, sometimes those type of jobs are the worst one. It mentally breaks you down.
Exactly. Exactly. So either way, it's going to give you that result that's listed. Low energy and enthusiasm, being stuck in the past. Well, yeah, and then lacking purpose. Because you got low energy, you are motivated. You're gonna be asking yourself, yeah, is this going to really I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? And if you accept it, then you'll be feeling powerless. Too powerless to change anything. Just like in the last bullet point.
Yeah. And you also think that there's nothing better for you just because of all these bullet points. Like I said, Eric Tenter said it best. You being stuck in the past. Like I remember this job. I was such and such. Or I remember at one point in time, I had all this money. I had more time to spend with the kids. I had more time to spend money and go to places I want to go. When I had this job, I can do it all. These are points that you can still realize that you're stuck in the rat race. You feel powerless, feel like you can't change anything, a change in your health and wellness, lacking a purpose. Because the job can be great, money is great, nothing's really out of whack with your life, but you feel like you don't have a purpose in life. You feel like you're just going through the motions. That's still a reason or one of the cons that you know that you're in the rat race.
Yep. And then, moral of the story is all you have to do is look at your life. If you want to know how you're really in a rat race, kind of sit down and reflect, like what you like, listen to what we're saying, and then look at what you've been doing. Like that's the time we actually to look into the past, like look at what you've been doing and and then look where you're at too.
Exactly. Sometimes self reflection is the best medicine. Let's head on to the next one, which is, can you escape it? And the answer is, you most definitely can. You
Yep.
absolutely can escape it. But here's the thing: not everybody is going to escape.
Nope. Nope. That's true. Like the people it's people that are it's people that are willing, just like when Wells only had that interview with RH Max, he said the same thing. There's like literally like so many people who accepted where they're at and don't even want more, just living just to live, without actually being on that purpose, or that purpose is just to live. They leave room for the people that actually want it, make it easier for them to get into the top. And then that's just how life is. Not everybody's going to make it.
Yep. And another way you can look at it is like, if everybody was rich, then nobody is rich. It's the same concept. Not everybody can escape, in a good way and in a bad way. In a good way, it's like some people are happy like with their simple life. They go to a 9 to 5. They, they go to work, make their money, to come home, see their family. Some people are content with that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you feel content and you feel like you do have purpose and doing the 9 to 5 or whatever job you work at, then continue to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know there are many others that are definitely not content with this and want to escape. They have ambition, they have drive, they want to get out of this systematic jail. So all in all, that's a good thing. But in a bad sense, there's always a need for a working class. I hate to say it, but everybody can't be rich. Why? Because you need a working class. I didn't say poor class.
Yeah, yeah, need a working class, like a middle class, not poor, but like living, still living comfortably, just working a regular job. And then yeah, because we don't need, people to be struggling and poor. That's not what he's trying to say. Like it's literally he's trying to say we need a working class people to do certain things like electricity. We need electricians, we need um carpenters, builders, all that, because that's like why we have
Yeah.
everything around us, truck drivers too, people that transport but because that's not the problem though, people working these jobs, but the problem is actually getting paid enough on these jobs too.
Yeah, it's basically like the lifestyle. Like again, majority of America, we don't realize we're a couple checks away from living on the street. And I don't want you to test this theory, but hypothetically, maybe on a calculator or a simulator, think of it in your head. If you missed 2-3 weeks of work without getting paid anything, you will see a big difference in the math. You will not have money to pay anything, and you'll be struggling just to catch up. Not even catch up, just to pay things off, and then you have to play the catch up game after you paid everything off. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's the
saying.
cycle right there.
Exactly, that's a cycle right there. So basically, you need a working class again, not a poor class. You need a working class, like money said. You need truck drivers, you need construction workers, builders. You need logistics. Why? Because you need people to move these things and build these things. If everybody's rich and everybody has money, well, who's going to build a house you want to sit in and relax in because you're rich? Who's going to build your
Right.
car that you want to drive and feel the wind through your hair? Who's going to build and create these TVs so you can sit back, relax, and watch these TVs? Who's going to cook these
Yep.
all these different types of foods, or who's going to produce all the vegetables and fruit on the farm so you can eat well and live lavishly? You need people to do that. Again, the problem is not people working jobs. The problem is the pay and how it equates to your lifestyle.
Yep, that's true because a lot of more people would be happier if they were just getting paid enough, enough to be sustainable, for them to actually still have extra money while they paying these bills. That's not going to be that's not going to be a bad thing. If we have a working class and then what they're doing is actually enough for them to live comfortably. They not everybody just can't be rich. That's just how it is.
Exactly. Just not everybody can be rich.
So, and then a lot of people ain't even getting that. Even working two jobs, still ain't even enough.
Yeah, they're
Just enough for them to
still
get by.
struggling. Exactly enough to get back. That's where our problem is. We're not saying you're going to struggle in life. There's no question about that. The the big gripe from us is how much are you struggling? I don't think we should struggle this much. You're still going to struggle. Sometimes you might be behind on the payment, this and that, but it shouldn't be this bad the way it is now. It
Yeah, that's
definitely
true.
shouldn't be like this.
Especially everything going up in price too, because of shortages. And then we got inflation where our paychecks ain't even matching up to the inflation rate.
Exactly.
So, yep.
Like, I can give you quick math. Let's just say I know some states are different, and as far as their how much rent is for an apartment. But let's just say $1,200 for an apartment, and say you make um we could say what 16 an hour. So if you work 40 hours, that's about $500 a week. And if you do 4 weeks in a month, that's $2,000. And I still haven't included taxes taken out of that. So if rent's 1,200 and you make 2,000 a month, you're already down with $900 left. That's not including car payment, car insurance, phone bill, food for the house, clothes. I think I said phone bill. Other expenses that need to be paid, other bills that need to be paid.
Yeah, and then if you live in certain states, personal property taxes on a car you already own.
Exactly. Putting gas in the car, like I said, putting
Putting
food
gas
on
in
the
the car.
table, buying clothes. If you have kids, they have their own expenses as well. So you see how far that money takes you just making 16 an hour, and say you had a $1,200 apartment. It doesn't take you very far. Off of just that, you're struggling.
Yeah, so yeah, and so really it's easy to struggle nowadays. Like you have to try not to struggle. Like it's crazy. You working two jobs and then still struggling.
Exactly. It's
That
almost like you're worse off than when you were when you had one job.
yes, and then if you do like too much overtime, and then the government's gonna should be all in your check too.
Exactly.
Uncle Sam is gonna keep taking more, which is
So
crazy.
that's
Oh,
why we're no, go ahead.
like it's like over 60 hours, right? And then they're gonna start taking more from you.
I think so, yeah. But some jobs,
Yeah,
overtime is once you hit over 40 hours.
yeah. But that's crazy though. The more you make it, then the more they just taking the money you working for, like you spending all your time. I mean, we already pay enough taxes as it is.
Yeah, that's one thing I never understood. I ain't gonna take money. I know it needs to pay the states, police, and other things, construction, whatever. I understand that, but it's like, good grief, how you gonna tax the money I make and
This
then
much.
tax it again, and then tax it again when I spend that money, and then I need to report every single little bit of money I make. Like, you didn't help me with this. I've already paid property tax, this and that, make my house payment, pay my bills, do whatever. Everything's legal. Nothing's on my rap sheet. Nothing's wrong. You have no part in this, but how are you taking so much?
And then try to make it hard for you to, make some good short profit. Like if you sell less than a year, you telling me they want to take 37%, might as well say 40. Capital
Exactly.
gains taxes.
Again, I said it seems like it's almost designed to keep you at this level. You're not escaping it. Some will, but the majority it seems like, yeah, you're not escaping this. You're gonna have to really bust your tail to get out of this. So that's
You,
why I would say yes, you can escape. The concept itself is simple, but it is most definitely not easy.
I mean, and yeah, and speaking of the system, you know what it reminds you of?
What?
The Matrix. So,
Ain't that the truth?
yeah, even in the picture, like what I said, dude, you found the cheese yet? And guess who used to be in the office too? Yeah, Neo.
Exactly. And it seemed
There
like
you
no
go.
one else is paying attention to this rat in this picture. Like it's almost a normal occurrence. He's the only one that notices it.
Exactly. He might be the one too.
I guess the rat thinking so too. Is he the one that found the cheese yet?
It's one to find the cheese. You take the blue cheese, you take the Gouda cheese.
Yo, get out. You're crazy stupid.
Uh,
Ah, we gonna skip that. So, how can you escape? Hey, write down your goals.
right there you goes, man. Yeah, take this journey with us to the rabbit hole as we go to the next life.
I think. Was there any other points I wanted to make? Yeah, I think we kind of discussed everything. Yeah, just write down your goals. If you have a certain goal, always write it down on a piece of paper. Whatever, put it in your phone, whatever the case is, write it down. You can always check on it. It almost kind of gives you an empowerment. When you write it down, you mean business. You're serious about this. If you try to keep it in your head, sometimes you forget and you might stray off the path. But if you write it down, you'll always see it, always know it, acknowledge it, and understand it. Watch your
Ex-
spending habits. Now go ahead.
I know I was agreeing with you exactly because like with writing down your goals, I mean there's even books on that too. Like like how to access your subconscious mind, which is the part that where you do things without well, not the non-logical part of your brain where you do things without even thinking about it. Like and one of the goals is, you want to accomplish something, like write it down. It's like in one of those books like how to hack the mind. So it relates to a lot of things too.
Exactly. It's one of the most important ones. Always write it down. The next one's watch your spending habit. I know, you want to live freely, this and that. You want to enjoy life. That's understandable. We all want to enjoy life. But if you don't have the money for it, you're not going to enjoy it. So sometimes you're just going to have to take a back seat on certain things. Again, we just discussed this many times before. Maybe you don't need to buy those shoes that just dropped. Maybe you don't need to spend money on a new system. Maybe necessarily don't need to soup your car up and get away from the like stock stuff on the car. You don't need to go out and eat every day. There's small little ways in cutting your spending habits. Another way is increase your income. Maybe find a better job. That's not the one true solution. That's just one of the small ways. Find ways to invest. And most importantly, keep pushing. because this is not an overnight thing. It's not a couple
Yeah,
weeks
mm-mm,
either.
mm-mm. And then another thing, I ain't gonna tell nobody how to live their life. I'm pretty sure it's not a good thing to live beyond your means. I mean, you see people that don't really got it, but spend everything they got on trying to show off, whether it's these expensive jewelries or most of the time these cars, trying to look like they actually have it like that when they don't.
Exactly. They see the celebrities with the Gucci. The reason celebrities got Gucci because they have the money like that. There's nothing wrong with them spending $2,000-3,000 on fits all the time because they have the means and the money to get that right back, if not more, multiple times over. You don't have the means to have get that. If you want to get maybe one piece of clothing like that, sure, fine, I guess, but don't make it a constant habit where you're living like that. No, you're not. Watch your spending habits. The clothes don't do anything for you. It's like the famous term: the clothes don't make the man makes the clothes.
Exactly.
So the clothes do nothing for you. They don't help you out anyway. Sure, an image is fine, but it's like we know you don't have money like that, so it
Ye-
doesn't necessarily help your image in the long run. Because, like I said, just because if I wear Gucci all day, doesn't mean I'm the most famous person all the time. You can look at a lot of superstars. Some just wear regular t-shirt, jeans, sweatpants, and you would never know they were famous. Because the clothes don't make them. The clothes don't signify they have money. It's what's on the inside and what they actually do behind the scenes that make money. Because they have that much money, they're so relaxed. They don't care about the clothing. What I care about is the money. I don't care about Gucci products. I don't care about Louis Vuitton products. I care about money I can make. I'm not saying don't dress nice, but I'm saying you don't need to spend an X amount of money on certain clothes. Spend within your means. Live within your means. So let's go to
Yeah.
the next slide, which is why would you actually want to escape?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Freedom to work whenever you want. In other words, like if you're good at doing stocks or just working for yourself, creating your own schedule, then that's one of the ways to do it. Or one of the most important ones that I like to bring up, passive income.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so making that money work for you. So you
Exactly.
could take off, go on a vacation, whatever you got passive income.
Exactly. You ain't worried about income because you have X amount of income, passive income. You're not even worried about. Another reason why you want to escape, you don't know. You don't have to have anyone breathing down your neck to finish a project. Oh no, that boss. Have you gotten this done yet? Hey, I need you to get this done yet. Hey, why won't you hear at such and such a time? We all get tired of that. We do not want to hear it. We just came to work. We came to the job, clocked in on time. We just want to make our money and go home. But that seems like almost the hardest thing to do. So that's
Oh
another reason
man,
why you want to escape.
especially dealing with, and you're gonna be dealing with all types of people too, either from going from job to job or just working at a job where they have a lot of people working too, like have a lot of employees. You're gonna deal with all types of people that's gonna give you a hard time, and all you're trying to do is just make that money and just go home.
Exactly. You just want a simple lifestyle. I just want to come to work, have an uneventful day. When I mean uneventful, nothing crazy happened. You just came to work, you did your job, you made your money, you come home, and you do your hobby, spend time with family, whatever the case is. So again, another reason to escape. More time to spend with your family, friends, yourself, and enjoy your hobbies. Because you're working 60 hours a week, you don't really have too much time to enjoy anything. Because whatever little time you get off, you're resting up and healing your body to repeat that same back breaker or mentally breaking thing again.
And that's depressing too, being mentally and physically tired too. And then you don't want to do it, but you're forced to do it because if you don't, gonna be behind on bills. Nobody wants to be in debt. Nobody wants to lose their home either.
Yeah.
And I know nobody is proud to say, "Oh yeah, I'm living paycheck to paycheck."
Yeah. No one's proud of that. And I mean that say you're not even by yourself. Say you have a family, and the family depends on you. So now you truly can't even give up. I'm not saying you should give up, but when you're by yourself, everything's on you. But now you're responsible for your family. People are depending on you to make this money. So now you truly can't give up. And then God forbid something happens to you medically, you're gonna be
Yeah,
stuck in a hole.
accidents happen too. So, hopefully you don't have an accident, whether it's a car accident or accident at your work that's gonna put you out of work. Um, pandemics too. We already know about that. Putting people out of work. Like you
Yeah.
never know what's gonna happen. Especially when you're spending all these hours, because because something can disrupt. Like 9 times out of 10, something is gonna disrupt that for a little bit, and hopefully you saved up enough money. If not, why earn a passive income? Because passive income is money that you don't have to work for. And then, like Pelly said, that money can save you.
Exactly. And we mean work for. You don't have to actively work, every single day on it. It's something you worked in the beginning, and once you set it up, it becomes it's like a gear in a machine. It starts turning itself. But you have to do the initial setup first. You have to build the machine first. You have to cut the right gears out. You have to place the right gears in the right areas. You have to do all these steps and processes to get to it's a passive income thing. It takes time. But like I said, these are one of the reasons you want to escape, just to spend time with your friends, family, yourself, and have hobbies. And like I said, you don't have to worry about anything happening to you if you have passive income. So, like somebody said, something happens at your job. Well, looky here, I have passive income and I make X amount of money. So necessarily, I don't technically have to go back to work.
Yep, and I don't have to go back to work if I don't want to. For that time being, if, like, I'll be good for like a. No, I even heard people say this themselves. Like, yeah, man, I got multiple sources of income, so even if I get fired, suspended, I'll be good for the rest of the year. Because I imagine how hard they worked before that to get all that. That way they can say it when they finish, setting up that stream of income. And that's the reason why people do that, have more than one stream of passive income, because they know something could happen at any time. And then
Exactly.
they need that money coming in.
Exactly. And then some people have it so good where their passive income literally takes care of everything. And they just go to work part-time or they work a full-time job, but it's not a crazy hard job and they just make a little bit more money. Some people literally have it like that and you will never know that they set it up so well the passive income literally takes care of everything and the job is just extra money. The passive income is extra money. They got to the point where the job is extra money, and they're just doing it to spend some time. Like I got nothing to do. All my bills are covered, so I just sometimes just come to work. But I can quit anytime I want to, and it wouldn't be no problem. I've met few people like that.
Yep. And then yeah, I met people that, grind day and night, but like, DJ, then work at McDonald's, then work at the regular job, being an engineer, earning all that money, then going into real estate, don't have to, no spend money out of their pocket to pay for gas. They can just use that income. Well, yeah, you can grind, like you can grind like that for a certain amount of time, like work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever you want to do. But as long as it's, you set your goals, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna sacrifice all this time for this so I can build this, and then I'll have, more time to do what I want. That's why I'm into my strategy, and why I'm really into passive income too, because I really want to focus something on something else other than money. Be like, yeah, the money's good over here. Let me focus on what I actually want to do and not work, and just bust for like 40, 60 hours, worrying about money. Because that can be stressful right there. I want to do what I actually want to do and have time. If I want to take a vacation, I want to do that. Or just do my hobbies. I want to do that too.
And that completely sums up the next bullet point. Why would you want to escape? It's not necessarily to give yourself more time. You don't have more time. Time's already set. But what it does is it allows you to use your time more wisely or to maneuver better within that time frame. all of what Money just said explains that point perfectly. Not necessarily to give you more time, but allows you to do things within your time frame that you weren't originally able to do. And it also explains that next one, the freedom to chase your goals. When you have enough passive income, you don't necessarily have to work a 9 to 5 like that. You have freedom to do what you want. If I want to take a vacation, sure. If I want to chase my goals, I've always wanted to learn how to play guitar as one of my goals. Sure, I have plenty of time now. 'Cause I don't necessarily have to grind myself every day at work for 8 hours. 8 hours is a long time out of a day. You might not think so, but 8 hours is.
Yeah, it is for real. I mean, it's bad enough we have to sleep, for 8 hours or almost 8 hours, for like 6 to 8 hours to get some good sleep. But then we have to spend that time waking up in the morning to go to work for 8 to 10 more hours,
Yeah.
and there's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, like if you do the math, like say you go to work for 8 hours, and let's just give the low ball estimate that you only sleep for 6 hours. If you go to work for 8 and you only sleep for 6, that's 14 hours right there. That's 14 hours already gone. So then you gotta say get up early to go to work. We'll say an hour early. Yeah, we'll say an hour early. So that makes it 15 hours. You still got 9 hours left because you
Yep.
you woke up early an hour early. You went to work for 8 hours. That's 9. And then say you want to sleep. That's 6 hours. But say even before you go to sleep, you got things you need to do around the house. You got
Y-
errands to run. You got literally 9 hours to do all this stuff. And a lot of times you conk out or go to sleep, whatever the case is.
Yeah, because you got to think about how long would it actually take for you to get settled, for you to get yourself situated where you just, all right, I'm comfortable. What can I do? How long is that going to take after you get off work?
Yeah, exactly. You got clothes to wash. You got to get something to eat. You got to set up things at your house. You got kids to take care. Whatever the case is, you realize your time is dwindling down.
Yep. Time can really feel limited, especially, you regular people like us just working a 9 to 5, or you not even a 9 to 5, but working from 40 to 80 hours. Because I know some people work some crazy hours.
Yeah, I don't know how
Your
they
time
do
is
it.
and then I remember I working this one job and I was like, I heard we work 80 hours. He was like, 80 hours? You ain't talking about nothing. Man, as well, I work like 90 to 100. I
What's
was
funny,
like, so you basically slept there.
I remember working crazy hours like that. I've been stopped that. Cause it used to be one point you remember money where me and our homeboy save on money. We used to work every single day. We never had a day off. Like
Yeah.
we would go
Yep.
to the restaurant on the weekends to work, and then we'll go to the warehouse job during the week. And then sometimes we'll pull doubles on the weekend on top of working. Well, at the warehouse, he was in a different area, so sometimes he was in a different section. He might get off earlier. The area I was in, sometimes I was on a terrible team, and not even a terrible team. We just had a lot of work. We end up pulling like 11, 12 hours, which you might think, isn't that normal? Well, it
Mm.
kind of is, but the kind of work I was doing, you don't want to do that job for more than 8, 9 hours. It was extremely back breaking job. So literally worked every day and like 12 hours plus.
Yeah, especially, you doing that back-breaking work, like just lifting all day. I even talked to some other people that did the same thing as you, like literally, I mean, even going up the stairs every day, just lifting either some heavy boxes of chicken, frozen chicken, or, furniture or whatever. I mean, really, for 12 hours, I mean, even 8 hours is exhausting.
Yeah. And then think about going back to it and doing it again the next day, and then the next day, and then the
And then
next
the
day.
next day.
And then what if you got a part time? Some people, we did it we did it this way to work every day so we wouldn't have to go to a part-time in the afternoon or something like that, where we did have a gap within the afternoon. Some people, they'll work that 12 hours or 13, whatever the case is, and then swing right back to the part-time. I could do it, but I knew I would break myself down in the future, so that's why we decided not to do it that way.
Yep. And if you had to move like I did, then one like I knew one job wasn't enough, and then I had to pick up a part time too, and I had to work every day, full time or every week, and then part time on the weekends too. And then I remember I was delivering to somebody in the neighborhood that I work with too. He was like, "Wait, you don't make enough money here?" I was like, "Not to move." Not for what I'm doing, no. And then plus I be throwing my money in shares anyway. So you already know what part of that's going to. So yeah, there's certain sacrifices that you gotta make. So it's gonna force you to work these hours when you really don't. And
Yeah,
that and I was I mean, I worked until I was burnt out. And
exactly.
man. And then yeah, that's not good. I mean, I was like, man, I gotta work again. Even though I work every day.
Then that's the whole point of this rat race thing. There's nothing wrong with making sacrifice because you want to achieve things in life. You have to make sacrifice. But it seems like all we do is sacrifice, and what we get in return definitely wasn't worth the sacrifice. You feel like you've
Exactly.
been cheated.
Yep, like we just, I said earlier we're not rats. Like literally we're not rats, but we can compare ourselves to some rats too. Cause just like how much we got to go through to get that cheese and end up being in that trap again.
And is that cheese even worth it? How big is the piece of cheese?
Yeah, how big is that piece of cheese?
What kind of cheese is it? Like you see what we're saying? We're in this
Yep,
rat race for this cheese, but how big is that piece of cheese? If I beat everybody and make it to the end of the cheese, it was only one little slice of cheese. And if I make it, I'm probably gonna end up in another rat race, another maze to compete again. And
exactly.
now that
Why am I
cheese is gone.
exact man? This mosquito's gonna die after this. But keep flying on my mic close to my mouth. but but what was I give this? Yeah, like work it, like just going through a whole maze for a piece of cheese. So okay, so why can I do something for myself? Like what I'm trying to do, and then what Veli trying to do, we're trying to, get multiple wheels, get our own cheese.
Exactly. I don't gotta go through a maze to get the cheese. I got my own cheese stash somewhere. I don't have to go through your maze. I don't have to go through every nook and cranny and get lost and injured to find your piece of cheese, a little break, a little crumb of your cheese.
Little crumb of your cheese.
Why, well, yeah, why don't we get the whole wheel of cheese ourselves?
Exactly, because people ain't hungry enough. That's why they that's why they just eating crumbs. Yeah, you got to be hungry enough in this game
Exactly.
called life.
Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. So
Yeah,
let's go to the next slide.
yeah, just like the lady at the Uber say, like, we gotta eat.
We
People
gotta
gonna start
eat,
rhyming. We gotta eat.
and you gotta eat to win the rat race.
Yep. To win the rat race, you gotta be hungry, and and then yeah, you gotta eat.
So one of the ways to win the rat race is basically how this podcast started is to realize that you're in the rat race. Some some people don't realize this is a rat race. They don't realize this is a system to keep you in this hamster wheel to keep going and going and going. It's a never ending. Some people really do not realize that because some people think, oh, that's just life, which is not necessarily wrong. You do have to work in life. But to work this way until you're 65 and have somebody tell me, yeah, you worked hard enough. Here's your money. You get to retire. You did a good job. Here's a little piece of that money that it was your money that you earned years ago, but we decided to withhold it from you, even though we had no part in you making that money. We're gonna hold it from you, and now we're gonna give it back to you because you did a good job. Rest yourself up. You old now. Go enjoy your life. I'm 65 now.
I should have retired like 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, like the things I wanted to do, my body can't keep up with that.
Nope. And so
That's
and
what
they
you're going to say when you're
oh
65.
exactly. I mean, you got people under 65, saying they old now.
Exactly. It doesn't just be you can do everything, and then when you hit 65, your body shuts down. It does not work that way. Some people
Yeah.
feel in the late 20s, a majority of them feel it in their 30s. You're going to feel your body breaking down. And it's not going to be able to move and maneuver the way it used to be. And that's already starting in your 30s. Some, it depends on the person. Some is worse than others. Some it's a little better, but you're still going to feel it. So that's why I was saying, realize you're in the rat race. Why should I have to work to 65 and to have them hold my money that I made that you didn't come here and help me work to make this money? I had to struggle on my own to make this little bit of money, and then you're gonna withhold it from me?
Yeah, then you gonna, deduct this and that out of my check.
Exactly. I know to say, oh, it's to help you spend your money better and to save. That way, when you reach your older age, you have something to fall back on. Yeah, that sounds nice, but I would like the money that I made in my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need too much of the IRS, and then, the personal property taxes and this tax and that tax, and then reporting, everything we're doing. Like, no, like, especially when we spend a certain amount of money. Why can't we just spend a lot of money because we earned it?
Yeah,
Like, why am I
exactly.
suspect? I'm a law abiding citizen.
Yeah, I work 2 jobs. Why can't I have this much money?
Yep. Even people getting people like saying it back then too. Like, yeah, once you spend this certain amount, Uncle Sam, his ears go off, go ding, 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 ding.
I think it
And
used to be. I think it's still. I'm not sure if it's changed or not. I don't think so. But it was like if you went to a bank and if you deposited at least $10,000, I think they have to notify. Is it notifying the RS or it's like it puts like a ticket on that deposit to notify $10,000 have been deposited. It
yeah,
almost puts like a red flag around you. Not necessarily it was wrong, but it's kind of like being aware. Hey, such and such deposited $10,000. That's a lot of money to deposit because we all know we don't have that type of money on hand. We can just deposit it. We can't just do it out the blue. We know it takes time to save, but I think that rule's still in place. So what some
yeah,
people used to
yeah,
do,
isn't
they
there
had that much
somewhere?
money, they'll deposit 9,999.
Oh, so yeah, so they won't set it off.
Exactly. So
Uh,
again, let's go back to how do you win the rat race? Improve, and practice self-awareness. We mean that by that, realize about the rat race, realize the situation you're in, improve on yourself, do self-reflection, self-awareness, realizing what you do, realize your goals, realize where you're at, and realize what you're willing to do to get to that goal. Another thing would be pay yourself first. There's multiple meanings by this. One meaning I think what most people would know about is when to pay yourself first. It's like to pay like what 20 or 30%, save 20 or 30% of whatever your check is for yourself, regardless if you wanted to put it in savings or invest or just blow it on something. Whatever the case is, save some money for yourself and put the other amount of money towards bills and debt. And once you pay all that off and you got your food and expenses out your way, you're good to go. But always pay yourself first. The other way that we look at it, when we say pay yourself first, invest money into yourself. Buy more books. I don't know, go to a gym, um, go get a
yeah,
degree, take classes, buy books on investing or starting a business, whatever the case is, a way to uplift yourself financially and intellectually. That's what we mean. Pay yourself first, invest in yourself. Because the thing that's going to put you forward is you. No one else is going to do that for you. You have to do that. So you pay yourself. If you pay yourself first, of course you will reap the rewards.
yep. And then that's a good type of sacrifice right there. Like got that $50 left to do whatever. And then you want to pay somebody to teach you some, or you pay for an online course or something that's going to help, like Billy said. So yeah, so that's a good way to pay yourself first, right there. or go to the gym or do something that's going to help you
Exactly.
also,
It
and
might
then
be
just not worry
intellectually, but
about bills, bills, bills.
exactly. Like I said, the
Buy
gym
you
may
some
not help
gold.
you
Now silver.
intellectually. Yes, silver or gold. It may not help you intellectually, but it keep it keeps you having a healthy body. Treat your body as a temple. So keep
Yep.
yourself healthy. Go to a gym. I don't know if you like boxing, go boxing. Like running, go running. Whatever type of exercise is, yoga, don't care. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, yoga, gymnastics, Pilates, maybe some parkour.
Yeah, calisthenics. I don't know.
Calisthenics.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, do what makes you happy because good mental health. Like having a clear head could take you somewhere too. Nah, because what we do is a mental game also.
Yeah, and
So
life doesn't it can beat you down physically, but life is more so beating you down mentally. Because a lot of us give up on life not because of the physical things, but because of emotional or more so the mental journey we have to go through. So you can be broken down physically, but as long as you still have that mental fortitude, nothing will ever stop you. So that's why I always keep your mentality on the up. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. Always educate yourself on some things. There's some things you're just not going to know. Some things you can't educate yourself on everything, but learn different things. Sometimes it can even be something that has nothing to do with investing or business. It can be you could take a philosophical turn and you like philosophies and studying Socrates and Nietzsche and all these others. If you like that, teach yourself or learn. Want to learn music? Go learn it. Go practice it. Buy an instrument. I don't know. You want to learn how to draw? Go do it. Never stop learning. It doesn't necessarily have to be investing and things we're teaching you. Go learn about something different. Go learn some science stuff. I don't know. Like
and
go
then maybe
learn.
it turns into a passion, and then you can make some real money off that too because you got good at it. Now you can sell it. Just an
Exactly.
idea,
Or
but
you go you know it so well you can tutor people and that can be a side hustle. See?
yep, exactly. Because like you just probably discover a hidden talent that you didn't think you had, and now you're just monetizing it. I mean, sometimes it works that way too. I mean, we didn't think we was gonna be doing this, in the past.
Definitely not.
Not at all. So now you see what happens, like we found something to do and then just went forward with
Yeah, and something we enjoy too. And that goes into the next talking point, which
it.
is something you love is no longer a job. If you love building a house, you truly love every single aspect of it and every single level of it, then if you go into a construction business, you won't necessarily see it as a job. You just enjoy the hobby because you love building so much. Same thing with stocks and cryptos. We don't necessarily see it as a job. I definitely see it as a way out, but I love everything about stocks. I love options trading. I like the aspect of it. I love the aspect of increasing my wealth on my own and taking things in my own hands. And even if I failed at it a lot of times, I enjoyed every aspect of it, even the failures, even the losses. I enjoyed every single bit of it. And it's the
Yep.
same thing with money.
Yep. Same thing with the cryptos too. This definitely decentralization. Have to I can just be my own bank, earn my own interest, take out my own loans, and then just buy like self custody my assets too. I don't have to ask nobody to hold my shares. I could just do that on my own in the cold storage, in the hardware wallet, software wallet, and then it's just all my having my hands on everything, all my responsibility.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just
yep, while I'm earning the money.
yeah, while you're earning money, it's just we're able to do everything on our own. And I love the aspect of when I get to a certain level, it's no longer having somebody telling me what I need to do. I'm my own boss. I am my own business. I wake up on my own schedule. I decide if I want to quote unquote come into work today or do this and that. I take responsibility for my own. There's nobody breathing down my neck or telling me and pointing me do this and do that. I'm the one that point myself in which direction I want to go or what I want to do. And like I said, you're making money at that too. That's why I love stocks, love options. Like I remember one of the first ways I tried to get out the 9 to 5, it was still a job, but was trying to going into I actually have a license for life insurance. I knew I didn't want to
I
work a
remember.
job no more. Yeah, exactly. Like I got tired of doing physical work. Even though I came back to it, but I'm slowly my plans I'm slowly phasing out of it. But I took that job because I no longer wanted to work a physical job. I'm like, I like the aspect of it, but I guess I just wasn't that good of a salesman. I'm just be honest myself. I guess I just wasn't that good, but I did like the aspect of getting up on my own time, knocking on doors on my own time, going when I want to go on my own time, and doing what I want to do, and nobody down my breathing down my neck. I love that aspect of it. And then like I realized one thing about options trading. I said, wait, that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do my own entrepreneurship or be my own boss, and that's another reason why I dove into options heavier than before, or even stocks heavier than before. 'Cause like I said, I was real. I wasn't really too active, but it's like after that, and after I think leaving that job, I realized that's always what I've wanted to do. I guess I kind of found my purpose or what I truly wanted to do was be my own entrepreneur, and one of those ways was stocks, options, and cryptos as well. But majority of it is options trading. That's something I really want to do. And with money, it was cryptos. He found something he truly wants to do.
Yeah, that's true. I even, started on a different path and then and then just lead me down to crypto. Like I started on stocks too, because I wanted to find ways just to earn some extra money, and then all everybody knew was stocks. And then I seen, like cryptos like Bitcoin and then, Ethereum, like shooting up. I was like, okay, how can I earn something that's gonna do that? you know. So then yeah, I started asking questions, talking to people about stuff, and then I found out, like, once I started reading, I found out I can literally take this stuff off the exchanges and then just have it in my own device. So then, I researched, I went further, and then put my hands on everything. And then, then I learned about the market even more, like how fast it was. And then like how much like money is actually into it when you invest in the right stuff too. I was like, now this is, more my speed here, moves the way, I'm used to. And, it's crazy, but at least I learned how to be safe, from like a lot of the dangers was in it. And then I'm in control of, like everything going on, as far as the custom, like where my coins are going, and then how, and then it fits good with my strategy because I learned that we're so early in the game, and I'm taking advantage of it, because I'm getting that first mover advantage. Like I want to be like one of the early people like in it, and then when it blows up, I can say I was there and I took advantage of that. Just like because I saw it as an opportunity of that being Amazon back in the day, or Microsoft, or Google back in the day. Like this is what it is to me, like right now, because the space is pretty new with a lot of the stuff in it, and then and seeing how companies is shifting towards it. So I'm right where I need to be in here. I'm gonna still expand to other stuff, but yeah, this, I found my niche definitely in the crypto market.
Yep, exactly. Mine took some time, but eventually he found his path. Eventually I found my path. And to go on to the next point is to appreciate things and meditate on others. What I mean by that, appreciate the small things in life. I know we talk about the rat race, this and that, but be thankful and appreciate that you do have a job and you are able to make some money to make some payments. But what's funny in that sense is another way to win it because you appreciate the small things. Like even talking to a friend, having a small conversation with them, hanging out with them, even if it's just chilling and watching TV or just playing the game, having a good meal by yourself. Sometimes take yourself out on a date. You might think that sounds weird, but take
Yeah.
yourself out, enjoy yourself. Go to a restaurant you never been to and just have a small meal there. Appreciate the small things. Be thankful you got a phone, people to talk to, good friends, such and such, a car to drive in, a roof over your head. Be appreciative of those things. And what I mean, meditate on others, realize all of that.
Yep.
Meditate on certain problems, meditate on your success.
Yep. Meditate, do a lot of self-reflection, learn to, appreciate yourself, know how great you are, love yourself. And then just like Billy said, don't be afraid to treat yourself. Like we mentioned more than one time, you want to spend money on I mean, just like, when I was getting my taxes back too. And then my mom always told me just make sure you save something for yourself because she knows like where I'm gonna spend it. It's either gonna be on debt or some crypto.
Yeah. Same thing with me. Either options or I'm acquiring some more stocks or some more shares after I pay the
Yeah.
debt off.
Yeah, exactly. Every year is with me. It's either debt or some shares. It's like, yeah, the two things that I always think of first. I don't think of buying no video games or just going out or nothing. But actually enjoying that money for real.
I
They
think
be
that's
like,
one
oh
of the
yeah, let me
problems
get
with
my
us.
car fixed. Yeah, exactly. We don't really enjoy our money like that. We have
That
to
too, and
make
I
time
think
to
us.
enjoy our money.
I think something wrong because the first thing we do when we get extra money, first thing I do, ooh, I'm about to go play some options. I don't think about nothing else. Like I know my debt's covered. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some shares. Let me go to the computer real quick.
Let me go to the yeah, let me go to my computer, let me go to my phone, depending on
Where I'm
what I'm
at.
trying to get.
Yeah,
Yeah, what crypto I'm because crypto all over the place. And then or what wallet is in.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
the
oh,
first thing
let
I'm
me update
thinking
my
of.
firmware.
I think our viewpoints of our thinking patterns been skewed a little bit because of
Yeah, because I mean, because we just been at it for so long and we're so hungry and then we enjoy this that that's all we can think about. Is like, yeah, let's man, if we come up on a lot of money, I know the first place I'm going to.
yeah, to the markets.
Yeah, to the market. Oh, crypto 24 hours. I can do this anytime.
I can't be hate because I know the stock market be closed. I was like, well, I'll go to cryptos. It's still money.
Yeah, I know Valley be like, yeah, wait till the next one. I'm gonna drop a stack on his contract right here. Let me put some puts in.
Bro, who are you telling? Exactly. But
It,
like Buddy
it,
said, what we enjoy to do, we enjoy it so much. That's the first thing on our minds. We are ready to invest. As soon as I find out I have an extra little more money than what I originally thought, oh, I'm about to invest this.
yeah, we
Our
start
first,
getting greedy.
exactly. Our first thought is maybe we want to buy a nice meal, some more clothes, maybe that game you always wanted. That comes last. The first thing on our minds, invest.
And we don't regret it too. We buy
Yeah.
like a whole lot of shares because we get so greedy, and then we just don't we don't regret it. Like we have no buyer's remorse whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm happy. I say if you gave me some more, I'd do the same mistake. Well, it's not a mistake, but I'll do the same thing.
Yeah, saying go with me too. Let me get another stack. So at least half of that is going into some cryptos, some like low price, high quality cryptos at that too.
Exactly. Like I'm investing that money. You can't tell me otherwise. Unless an emergency happens, the first thing I'm doing is running to the market.
Exactly. I ain't buying no food.
Exactly. That's the last thing on my mind. After I spent such and such money, oh, I got like $100. Oh, I guess I'll go get something to eat and buy some. And that's it. That's how it goes.
Exactly, because when you think about it, we understood that we was in a rat race, thinking like this too. Because like we're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the game, beat it, or what else, or buy some food, and then spend all the money on stuff around the house, buy some food, then work hard just to get it again and do the same thing. Well, with these shares, at least I have a chance to get out of that, so I need to buy more.
Yeah, and then I'm potentially making passive income through dividends or whatnot. Because I can tell you now, I'm not even old. Like I'll tell you, I'm 25. I'm not even old yet, and I literally feel like I'm tired of working. I know everybody says, "Oh, everybody's tired." No, I'm tired. Like I'm almost ready to walk out every single day. Like you don't understand how much I truly hate working. Like I have no more pay. I used to be the type of person, even younger when I first started. I was always the one. Oh, we got to stay extra hours. We got to work longer. We got to get this job done. No, we can't leave the job. After a couple of years of realizing how a job works and how people are and how bosses are and all this stuff, all that went out the window. I tell new people, don't even worry about that. It's time to go. That's not our job to do.
Man, I ain't far from him too. I'm 27 and I'm already trying to retire.
Exactly. I'm trying to tire at 30. I mean, earlier possible, but at 30, like I'm tired of working. I tell people, nah, I don't care. It's time for us to go. Do what you're getting paid for. I'm not
Yeah,
saying do the maximum amount, nor I'm saying do the minimum amount. Do what you're getting paid for. I don't care. I be leaving early. I take days off. And I never used to be that type of person because I still have that dedication. I need to still finish the job. But like I said, after realizing certain things, I no longer care. Like, get me out of here.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. It's like, a regular job, even where I work at, it's a great job, but I'm not as passionate, about it as I'm, doing what I'm doing now is this podcast. I get more enjoyment out of doing this than just working, you know, even two of my jobs, even though the people are great, but it's the fact that I'm just working to get by. It's the problem.
Exactly. And I hate it. I'd rather be looking at stock charts or chart. There's been times I sat at a computer like all night, haven't gotten no sleep, just charting stuff, looking at different stuff and looking at other things to and invest in. I'm not playing every single options trade. Just sometimes I want to find another company to invest in. Maybe not the next come up, but what I think will be an outstanding company in the future or product, whatever the case is. I'm doing research on it, and I lost sleep over it. I fell asleep at the kitchen table one time. I had my computer down there. I didn't even lay down. It's just my head was just down in front of the computer screen, knocked out.
Oh man, trust me. I'm never making another trade again. No, no, I'm not making another transaction again while I'm tired because that's how I copied the wrong contract and lost some of that money. So I
Like,
mean, like we be up at nighttime doing this stuff. I mean, crypto gaming, and then I'm looking at the prices and trading, at nighttime. I'm
yeah,
supposed to be sleeping.
exactly. I'm seeing how certain option contracts are going. What happened? I placed this trade. I remember one time I almost bought it was like a $1,400 option contract.
Yep,
I wasn't paying
exactly.
attention. I was falling asleep in you just holding scrolling your phone. Well, my thumb just held it instead of dragging up. It just stayed right there, and I clicked. It was at the purchase how many contracts. I'm like, oh no.
Exactly.
Now
Good
remember
thing
this
you
is a
won't
twelve
sleep
hundred dollar
clicking.
contract. I think it was like 8 contracts I selected. So you do the math.
Jeez, man. Hey, man. Sleep clicking.
I was like, I gotta stop this.
Oh man. Yeah, so I got in the habit of choosing the right time. It's just to go in. I'm never going in tired again. I'm gonna click something on an accident too. I
Yeah,
already know.
exactly. That's why I strictly if it's like late at night or I know I'm not gonna do any trade or I'm just looking, it's strictly
Yeah,
only the chart. And the
only the
chart,
chart.
yeah, the chart itself. There's no buying this. It's just I'm just looking at a chart. But essentially, all these things we'll get back to the top. All these things add up to how do you win the rat race or how do you escape it? I think might be the better phrase is how do you escape the rat race is to realize you're in the rat race, improve
Hey,
and
man.
practice self-awareness, pay yourself first, never stop learning, always learn something new, and something you love is no longer a job, as you've seen or more so
Yeah,
heard me and Money talking about how we just run into the market as soon as we get some extra money
true.
and appreciate things and meditate on others and practice self-reflection. practice self-reflection. Money already said, but also like realize what position you are in life and where currently you're at reaching your goals. Are you in the still the beginning stages? Are you in the middle stages, late stages, or you haven't even started at all, or have you deviated from your path? Have you made certain have you made the right choices? Have you made the wrong choices? Have you said things in a certain way? Could you have said it better in other ways? Could you have made better decisions? All those is self-reflection. Are you actually making the right choice, or are you actually striving towards that goal? Always self-reflect. Always self-reflect.
Yep. Yep. Always self-reflect. Look at what you've been doing, realize what you've been doing, never stop learning, and just have a clear mind too. Don't be afraid to put yourself first sometimes too, instead of, bills, 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 and just constantly worrying about money. And just figure out a way to get it if you want to. It's your life. We can't tell you what to do with it, but we can tell you what you can do, and certain things is not impossible. Like at least we at least if you can get something out of this, at least get some hope out of this if you had lost it the first time.
That's true. You can get some hope out of it. But on that same note, always remember, this isn't financial advice.
No, this ain't financial advice at all.
We just like talking about money. Ain't that right, buddy?
Yep, and money talks too. And money's talking to you right now. And I'm trying to get it to talk back. At least whisper.
Hey, look. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. And we'll catch y'all next time. So enjoy yourselves.
All right, enjoy yourselves. Peace.
Peace.